So guess what? Like, do y'all know anybody that's like directly uh, affected by domestic violence? You know, I was up this morning. It's the new year. I started. Got on social media and I was reading this article. And it talked about how um, in Texas, this particular guy um, was like stalking this chick or whatever. She had like broke up with him. They had like some domestic issues, and like he was like stalking her to the point to where he like finally he killed her, and he killed her son, then he killed himself. Like, you ever wonder how do you get like that? You know, between me and my friends, I always like crack a joke, say, "Oh, don't love me to death." Nah, you don't. No, don't. Like, I would love to have someone head over heels over me, but like not to the point to where you want to take my life and take yours and take the life of a helpless innocent child. But I always wondered, like how do you get to that point? Like, I have never been in a domestic situation. I'm blessed. I've never had that happen to me. I've gotten into like loud altercations where somebody's arguing, but I've never actually had any man, put, physically put his hands on me, which is cool. I'm great. I'm blessed because there are a lot of women who can't say that, and I always think about it like, how do you get to that point? Like, what can somebody say to you to make you strike them? But because like my grandmother used to say, you can say whatever you want to say to a person. It doesn't give them the right to put their hands on you. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's a new day and age. People don't like to be disrespected, especially, men. You have to watch. They don't want their manhood tested. They don't want their pride taken away. They don't want to be embarrassed. But the real issue is, what can you say to a person to like just make them just want to hit you? And then like, how do you get that angry? Like, I can get angry to rage, but I'm good for walking away. Like, when I was really young, I was very feisty. I was a fighter. I would get into altercations with girls, but I've like never got into it with like a guy. And I just always want to know, like, how do you get to that point? Like, I don't know. Like, I just never um I've never been in that situation, and I always just wanted to know. And then the other question that I have about domestic violence, and I'm only gonna say this because I've never been through it, and maybe I shouldn't say it. Hey, bro, you ain't got but one time to hit me, and I'm done. You know, I don't. There are some women who feel like if a man, doesn't, put his hands on her, that he doesn't love her. That's a woman that needs some therapy. That's a woman that needs her dad. That's a woman that needs to take a step back and just like reevaluate herself, because, sweetie, that is not love. A man is harming you physically, emotionally, mentally, that's not somebody that cares for you. People who love you don't want to continuously hurt you. I understand things happen from time to time, but yeah, people who love you don't intentionally hurt you repeatedly. So I was like, just wanted to know. I'm acquainted with a person that I've known this person almost 20 years now. Um, and every relationship she's had over the last 2 decades has been like a domestic type of situation. And I had to ask her one day, because you may get one guy that likes to fight women, that, is a coward, puts his hands on women. But nah, like every last one of them. So I had to ask her, like, what are you doing? Like, are you pressing somebody's buttons? Are you the aggressor? Are you hitting and somebody's defending themselves, and then you come to me like you're the victim? What are you doing? Because everybody's not a woman beater. Especially, I live in Wisconsin. You go to prison here, they straight to jail here. So they don't play that here. So I had to ask her, like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? that everybody you care with is putting their hands on you. Are you because you know some people don't like to be disrespected. That doesn't give a man a right to put his hands on you, or it doesn't give a woman to put her hands on a man, because you know women, we're aggressors too. We can be abusive as well. So this isn't, I don't want to make people think this is only about men hitting women. It's just a broad scope, just domestic violence in general. But I asked my friend, like I said, what's going on? You know, and then she was just like, oh, I don't know. She laughed it off. She thought it was cute. I thought it was really sad. Like, but I couldn't imagine every guy that I date or have dated putting their hands on me to the point to where I'm in the hospital, I have black eyes, requiring major surgery. Like, what is going on? I think that the community needs to take a better stand on helping to prevent domestic violence. I think that we need more advocates for both men and women. I also think that there used to be, where I live, a lot of women's shelters for domestic violence. We don't have those anymore. I just think that there's a lot of things that our community can be doing to help to combat domestic violence. These young women are being killed. You know, they're staying in these relationships that end up to turn deadly. They're putting themselves at risk, their children at risk. Sometimes you have women that wholeheartedly want to get out of these relationships and they can't. They're scared. They have this person that will track them down and harm them. And then there are those who kind of use it as an excuse to say, well, you know, he doesn't do this all the time. It's just sometimes he does this. Like, abuse is abuse. You slap me, we don't have a problem. And, you know, I come from a family, we're a little different in our family. You hit me, I'm going to make a phone call and it's going to be 32 of us. And it's just going to go all the way to the left. But that's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying that we, as a community, need to do something to combat domestic violence. That article that I read about the young woman in Houston was just disturbing, and it was sad, and it was just like, what can we do to prevent something like this? If you guys know of any suggestions, please let me know.